Alright, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lonne. This is Shin Megami Tensei for the Super Famicom. We're going to be doing any percent. We're going to break the game really nice and really quickly. We're just going to get straight into it, and I'll try and do some explanation as we go. So we'll just get into it. So we're going to start on 3, 2, 1, go. So this, yes, as I said, Shin Megami Tensei, SFC any percent. This category is hilariously broken. We do a very fun bug that lets us just break the game. You'll see that in just a moment. But first, we actually have to play the game a little bit first. And I've already started by messing up the inputs. Don't worry about it. Can you tell it's I'm a little tired? It's been a slightly long day. First, we have to name our characters and give them stat points. This is us that we're doing first. We give him lots of points into speed and some points in intelligence. Speed just lets us evade or run away from battles that we don't want, and then intelligence actually does help us set up our little game-breaking shenanigans later on. Here is the Law Hero. Here's the other main character of this game. The stat alignment is, for the most part, the same. We give him points into speed, but we give him points in magic instead. Because we need him to do some magic damage, which will come up for the one boss fight we have to fight in this entire run. And then we're going to meet our other main character, the Chaos Hero, and we give him stat points into luck and intelligence as well. So the reason why we put them into these particular stats is speed, as we just explained, it helps us evade battle. Intelligence helps us with setting up our trick later on, because we need to have high intelligence to improve accuracy for an item we're going to be using later on. It doesn't have the greatest accuracy, so we do everything we can to boost its accuracy. We're currently in a dream right now, if you couldn't tell by the fact that everything looks a tad funky. But I wouldn't worry too much about it. We'll wake up in just a moment. See, now we're in the real world. And unfortunately, the real world doesn't have these people we just met, or they're not here right now, at least. But, we just do real, normal life shenanigans. Our mom gives us money. We're supposed to go shopping for her. We're not going to do that, though. We actually need this money for other things. First things first, though, we're going to say hi to Pascal. This is Pascal the dog. We're going to pet Pascal. There you go. We've now pet Pascal the dog. He's the best boy, but unfortunately we don't see him too much here because the game's over so quick. We're going to take a journey to the nearby shopping mall, and we're going to go and meet this nice gentleman over here, who unfortunately gets killed by a demon. The demon tries to attack us and then runs away. And in doing so, we get a attack knife dropped. This attack knife is actually important for the reasons you don't think it would be. So we're going to do because we have an item in our inventory, we can sell items. We're going to do a glitch called Shop Glitch, which lets us sell invisible items in our inventory that don't actually exist. So as you might have seen, I'm going really quick in the name of going fast. And it's all in Japanese, so it might be a bit difficult to understand. But we only had one attack knife in our inventory, and that was the only item we had in our inventory. Here's Pascal the dog again, in case you missed him earlier. We'll pet him again. Where was I? So we only have one attack knife in our inventory, but we sold what was the equivalent of 3 attack knives. Because by holding down the select button, or the action, or A, which is the select, or like yes, I guess you could call it, and then trying to back out of a buy or sell menu, it asks us if we want to buy or sell what we call like a phantom item or a secret item, that the vendors typically don't sell. Which allows us, and it doesn't use any of the item in our actual inventory, so we can use it to do basically infinite money or buy items we're not supposed to buy. We actually end up doing both in this run, because we need to buy a secret item and we need lots of money. This is the heroine. We're gonna save her from being like sacrificed or something. Unfortunately for the heroine, she never comes up. We beat the game before she appears, which is quite funny. So don't worry about her, but she's there. She's there, alright. And so that was another dream because we went to bed. We've woken up again, and this time we're going to go and take a trip. It's not to a shopping mall, but we're going to go to a shrine instead. Very important we go to the shrine. But first, of course, Pascal the dog is still here. Say hi to Pascal. We're going to pet him again. And now we're going to head down to our local shrine. Now, because we had that demon encounter earlier, we will encounter demons. But because we gave the main character such a high speed stat, we are guaranteed to run away from all of them. There is a ghost. Remember this guy? We need him later on. So we've already spotted one. Let's see how many we can spot before we actually need to find one. It will come up. We're gonna meet this old guy on the way to the shrine, and he's gonna basically project us into a different building. Like we're like now a spiritual copy of ourselves. We also meet up with Law and Chaos Hero because they also get transported here. And we have to climb, or the game, I'm not touching anything right now, but the game is taking us through this tower where we technically fight our first boss fight. And I do say technically because if anyone's played this game before, will know this boss fight is not actually a real boss fight. We get met with a spiritual projection of our mom for some reason. I don't remember what she's trying to tell us. It's like... I can't read Japanese. Here's our first boss fight. We auto through this boss fight. And that's the boss fight over. Basically, the old man is now going to tell us we're too weak to fight this guy. Which we are. He was gonna kick our ass otherwise, so... We're gonna go into the shrine, and we need to stop by the local healer of the shrine in Kaifuku, and we need to buy some items. We're not here to heal because we're full health. We need to buy some items. So we buy this item, and then we buy this item. I don't actually know what they're called, if I'm being honest. All I know is they do very important things for this run. So that's all we need to know, right? So we made this trip to the shrine. We're going to go home now. We've had a very busy day, especially after getting, you know, projected into a random building and having to fight a boss fight. It's kind of tiring, right? So we're going to go home for the day. We're going to go back to bed, basically. But these two items that we buy, the first item we bought is basically, if anyone's played Mega 10 games before, think of it as kind of like an item that just casts like a Megiddo kind of skill. It just does a bunch of just does like what is effectively almighty attack, which we use to kill the upcoming boss. And then the second item is also very important for the glitch we're trying to set up. It lets us revive a chaos aligned character from death once per battle. If my understanding of the item description is right. It's something to that effect. We use it in an unintended fashion, which causes unintended side effects. We're gonna meet Steven. He's the guy that set up the Digital Devil Summoner program that we use to actually summon demons if we were to play the game properly. Which we're not, so we don't have to worry about summoning demons. Not today. So we're in a hospital. We got arrested earlier because remember that guy that we met that got killed by the demon? The police think we killed him, so they arrested us, and we're gonna do like evil experiments on us because that's fun, right? But we're gonna make our way through the hospital. Here's another ghost. So we're at 2 ghosts so far before we actually need to fight him, which is always typical. That's always how it goes. As you can see, this game has an encounter rate. Alright. There are some games that have worse encounter rates, but this game can get a little silly at times. Here's Orias. He's the first and only actual boss we fight in this game. The strat for this fight, main character defends. The Law Hero uses that basically Megiddo item, and he dies. Easy as that, right? So we put points into intelligence for both characters. Because we don't actually need magic anymore. We have enough... we don't actually have to fight anything else in the game, so... We get an access code, or access key, that lets us leave the hospital now that we've defeated Orias. So we're going to do that, and we're going to head back to the arcade, or shopping mall, that we were in earlier. And then we're going to go and meet our third and final character, and I guess also an important character, because as I mentioned, this item that we use to break the game is for chaos aligned characters, and right now we have the main character who is currently neutral aligned, and Law Hero who, as the name implies, is law aligned. So we don't actually have a way of using this item until we meet Chaos Hero. And the Chaos Hero, he is going to be our, well, chaos character, so he's quite important. We're gonna be a little safe for this this run, because it's, you know, for marathon demonstration purposes. If I was going for a PB, we'd go for like the faster, slightly riskier strats where we don't get as much money. But here we're gonna play it a little safe. We're gonna get a couple of extra items, you know, to play it safe. So we're gonna do this shop glitch we were talking about earlier. And we're just gonna probably get like 20,000 yen worth of cash, so like one more, and then that should be enough to be safe. Because as I said before, we're trying to hit with a certain item that doesn't have an amazing chance to hit, so there's a possibility we run out, and we obviously don't want to run out of items because that would not work very well. So we're doing, as you can see, the shopkeeper doesn't actually have an item that's worth 1,300 yen, but we're buying one from them. This is the shop glitch that I was talking about earlier. If you're ever stuck during a casual playthrough, this is, keep it, you know, keep a note of this. It's really simple. You just hold down the A button and press B. It's surprisingly easy. So we've got all we need. And now we need to go and find a ghost. Remember the ghosts we saw from earlier? We need to go and find one of them. But we also have to stay very close to the mall, because we are going to put ourselves in a very buggy state. Where the game will get very confused. So what we're trying to do, effectively, is we are trying to have all 3 party members dead at the same time without game overing. Because normally, in this game, if all human characters are dead, then you go to a game over screen. But because we use these items that these phantom items we bought, they're basically the equivalent of like Mudo in the later games, where they just cast instant kill death spells. But the problem, or the issue, is the ghost reflects death, so it kills the party members. And when we use this item to revive a chaos aligned character if they die once per battle, it doesn't really work properly if you use an instant kill reflected back to yourself. The game really doesn't know how to process that properly. So here's a ghost, that's great. So we want Law Hero and the main character to be using these instant kill items because we want them to die. Which we've already got one hit. We want the Chaos Hero to die last, so he's just going to defend until Law Hero dies. And you can kind of see why we need why we need plenty of items, because they're just not hitting. We know it hits when the screen sort of flashes like that and shakes. That's how we know it hit. And now, as you can see, we are all dead. The game normally should end because we're all dead, but now we're in a very... The game's in a very confused state. And we're gonna do some interesting things, shall we say. Now, what we've done is we're now basically walking in the game's RAM. And we're gonna walk into the game's credits. I'm gonna... Sorry. Sorry, I'm being quiet because I have to focus. Alright, that's it done. That's us basically done now, for the most part. And now we just walk into the credits. So we are in a glitched area of the map right now. And we're actually walking through the game's internal RAM. Or like the Super Nintendo's internal RAM right now. And that is the law ending. So, obviously that's not how you're supposed to finish this game. But, you know, the game is very confused and has let us. I honestly have no idea how or why this glitch works. It only works on this version of the game. They did fix it for every other version of the game. Which is funny. And the run officially ends once we get to the end of the credits, so we just kind of have a bit of time to chill, right? So, Cruel, if I assume he can still hear me just now, I'd probably get the next run set up, because we're basically finished. I've got like 2 or 3 minutes before the run ends, so you're more than ready to get everything started, so... I think I explained everything. Sion knows more than I do. I'm hoping he will do a better job of explaining things, because I kind of had to do everything. I'm not good at trying to multitask with stuff as complicated as this. Because when we're in the game's memory, we do have to walk a very particular path, which is why I had to sort of quieten down for a moment to make sure I actually... make sure I actually got it right. Otherwise, we were gonna get completely lost in the game's RAM. There is a chance we could still walk to an ending. There is a lot that can be done with this. The game can crash. We can like add glitched party members to our party. It's really interesting, just sort of how silly we can make games like this. I remember one time we did this glitch. We ended up, I think it was in the bottom of the cathedral, so at the very end of the game, and we were just able to normally walk into the game's credits, because the game just assumed we'd beat all the bosses and let us. But like, as you saw, this is actually a super straightforward run. Like, not even 20 minutes. Like, the only hard bit is the bit at the end, really. And I have a little cheat sheet, admittedly, that's got all that stuff on me. So I don't have to, you know, it's really not that difficult. So if you're ever looking for a really easy beginner run to do, if you want to do a Mega 10 run, this one right here, I can recommend it. I'm sure Sion would love to recommend this one as well. Alright, and that is time, because the credits are now finished. It ends on specifically on the dot. So that, in a very strange sense, was Shin Megami Tensei. This is a pretty neat run, I think, because it's so, straightforward and easy. I take it we're good. Thanks, Cruel, for letting me do this. Thanks, Scion, for teaching me how to do this. And I guess if you're ready to move on to the next one, then feel free to cut me off. I'm used to getting cut off abruptly, so just do it. um, yeah, I hope we keep going, and I hope everyone's enjoying the show.